The echinacea flower or plant has been known for hundreds and hundreds of years, particularly for its medicinal qualities. It's been used to fight infections and in wound care, and also when dealing with such ailments as malaria or scarlet fever. And it's only since fallen out of fashion in terms of its medicinal use since the advent of antibiotics. The echinacea plant is of the daisy family, and while it comes in a variety of colors, it's best known in its purple, white, or pink states. Also, one last interesting fact is that the name Echinus, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I may not be pronouncing it correctly because I do not speak Greek. However, Echinus is the Greek word for hedgehog, and this refers to the cone-shaped middle part of the flower with its little spiky protrusions. That is a hallmark of an echinacea flower. So in today's video, as you can see, I'm going to show you how to make this echinacea flower. This particular flower was made with a size 10 crochet thread. It's a beautiful applique piece that can be worked into any open lace work, or it can be appliqued onto any piece of fabric or artwork where this might be appropriate. And I'll show you what I mean. So for example, I happen to be working on this child's sweater right now. And what I've done is I've taken my standard medium weight yarn and have created a very soft, almost abstract version of an echinacea plant using the same pattern that I'm showing you today, and have put it onto the sweater. Also, as you see here, in this piece, this is a panel to an afghan I am also currently working on. And you can see that I used a lace weight. This is a silk yarn made from recycled sari material. And so you can kind of see what that looks like here on this afghan. Same pattern, exactly the same pattern, just a different yarn, a little different size. And then of course, you know, compare that with the thread. Welcome to Weaving Weird Studio and My Creative Weird Life. My name is Sig, and what a pleasure it is to have you with me at this time. It's your interest and support that allows me to contribute new content and weekly videos. Help us all grow together by tapping the subscribe bar, notification bell, and like buttons. I look forward to your comments and always value your feedback. So now that you've seen this echinacea blossom made with this size 10 crochet thread, and also made with this recycled silk yarn, and the silk yarn itself is rated as a lace weight. And I've also showed you examples of this pattern, this echinacea blossom, having been made from size 4 yarn, a medium weight. But for the purposes of this video today, I will be using a medium weight size 4 yarn and a size G hook, or 4mm if you like. My purple yarn here is a wool, and my yellow yarn is alpaca. Now you can certainly use any kind of yarn you'd like. This just happens to be the yarn that I have in the color that best goes with the toddler sweater that I'm currently finishing up. And I thought these echinacea blossoms would be the perfect embellishment, the perfect motif for this sweater. Okay, so let's get started. It's super simple. To begin with, I'm going to need to make 9 chains. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then in the third chain from the hook, I want to make a double crochet. And then I also want to make 2 more double crochets in that same stitch. And then we're going to do a popcorn stitch. So I'm going to come back here to this second chain in that turning chain that we just did, and I'm going to grab my loop, and I'm going to pull it through, and I'm going to tighten it, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch. And that gives me my first popcorn stitch. Then I'm going to skip a chain, and in the next chain I'm going to place 4 more double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Same thing, I'm going to release my hook. I'm going to insert my hook into the first double crochet of this cluster. I'm going to grab my loop, and I'm going to pull my loop back through, and then I'm going to slip stitch. That gives me my second popcorn. I'm going to skip a stitch, skip this next chain, and then I'm going to double crochet 4 more times in the same stitch, in that same chain. And again, I'm going to remove my hook, and I'm going to reinsert it right here, back here at this first double crochet of this cluster we're currently working in. I'm going to pick up my loop, and I'm going to pull it through, and then I'm going to make a single slip stitch. Then I'm going to skip the next chain, and in my last chain I'm going to make 1 more 4 double crochet popcorn. So again, 4 double crochets in the same stitch. And I'm going to withdraw my hook, and then I'm going to reinsert it into that first double crochet of the cluster. And then I'm going to make a slip stitch. So I should have 4 popcorns. And then I'm going to turn my work. And then I'm going to slip stitch right there into that space right here between the 2 popcorns. And then I'm going to chain 2. And then I'm going to double crochet 3 double crochets in that same space between the 2 popcorn stitches. So now this time, instead of inserting my hook through the front, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to insert my hook into the second chain of that turning chain stitch from behind my work, from the back of my work. And then I'm going to pick up the loop, and then I'm going to tighten my work, and I'm going to make a slip stitch. So basically what that does is that gives me another popcorn, but it makes my popcorn facing what will eventually be the front facing part of the cone of this flower. So basically what that will give me is a popcorn stitch that's facing the same direction as my last popcorn stitches, and that will make up the face of the cone of our echinacea flower. Okay, so we're going to do it again in that next space right here between our next 2 popcorns. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to double crochet 4 times. I'm going to remove my hook, and I'm going to insert my hook into that first double crochet, but I'm going to come in from behind, and then I'm going to get my loop, and I'm going to pull it on through. I'm going to slip stitch. And then I'm going to do that 1 more time. I'm going to find that space right here between the next two popcorn stitches on my row, and I'm going to double crochet 4 times right in that space. And then again, once more, I'm going to insert my hook from the back of that first double crochet in this cluster. I'm going to pick up my loop, and I'm going to pull it through. And then I'm going to slip stitch. I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to make another slip stitch right into that space between these 2 popcorn stitches. I'm going to chain 2, and as before, that's going to be the stand-in for my first double crochet in the cluster, and then I'm going to double crochet 3 more. And then I'm going to insert my hook this time from the front. I'm going to go into that second chain. I'm going to pick up my loop and I'm going to pull it through. And then I'm going to make a slip stitch. And then we're going to do this one more time. I'm going to go right here in between these 2 popcorn stitches and I'm going to double crochet 4. And again. Next, I'm going to turn my work, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to slip stitch right into that next popcorn stitch because I just want to close it off. And so now I've made a cone for the center part of that echinacea flower. Now, just as a quick tip, I like to take the ends of this cone part of my flower that I've just completed, and I like to weave it right here along the bottom of my cone. I feel like this gives me a much sturdier place for the petals to be attached to on my flower. And then it's also just a good place to weave your ends. It takes care of them quite nicely. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to start putting on the petals. Now, for this flower, you can do anywhere from 5 to 7 petals. That's going to make a very nice looking echinacea bloom. Or maybe you add more, maybe you add less. It's really all going to break down to your personal aesthetics and what the piece looks like that you're placing these flowers on. For the sake of this video and for this demonstration, I'm going to do 5 petals. And from there, it will be very easy for you to figure out and determine how you may want to add a petal or how you may want to discard a petal, depending on your personal preference and needs in the piece that you're working on. So now when I begin, I'm going to come here to this popcorn stitch right here, and I'm going to kind of swing around to the back end here. And I'm going to just pick up the edge and I'm going to tie in my purple. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chain 13. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And then in the second chain from the hook, I'm going to single crochet. And then I'm going to single crochet again. Next, I'm going to half double crochet. And then I'm going to half double crochet again. Then I'm going to double crochet once, and then a double crochet twice in the next stitch. And then I'm going to do a treble crochet 2 times as well. And then I'm going to do 2 double crochets. And then I'm going to do 2 half double crochets. So now when I get right down here to this stitch where I tied in, I am going to actually do my second half double crochet right in there. And then I'm going to do a single crochet next to it right here along the base of my cone. I'm going to do once, and then I'm going to single crochet one more time right next to my last single crochet. And then this time I'm going to chain 15. And like before, I'm going to single crochet and single crochet. And I'm going to half double crochet. And then again, half double crochet in the next stitch. And then a double crochet. And then another double crochet, still next stitch. And then I'm going to do my 2 treble crochet stitches. And then again, my double crochet twice. Then half double crochet again twice. And then single crochet twice. Then I'm going to do my single crochet right here into this single crochet at the base of the petal we're currently working. And then again, I'm going to do a single crochet once and then twice along the base of the cone. And then now for my third petal, I'm going to chain 17. Then I'm going to, in the second chain from my hook, I'm going to single crochet once, I'm going to single crochet twice, and then I'm going to single crochet 3 times. Next, I'm going to half double crochet once, half double crochet twice, and then I'm going to half double crochet 3 times. Next, I'm going to double crochet 2 times, and then I'm going to treble crochet once, and then again twice. Then I'm going to double crochet twice again. So we got the once, and then twice. Next, I'm going to go and I'm going to half double crochet once, twice, and 3 times. Then I'm going to single crochet in the next chain. Then I'm going to single crochet right here into this sidebar of the first single crochet of this petal. And then I'm going to make my next 2 single crochets side by side along the base of the cone of this flower. So now for my 4th petal, I'm going to chain 15. 1, 2, 14, and 15. And then in the second chain from the hook, just as before, I'm going to single crochet. And then single crochet again. And then half double crochet. And then half double crochet again. And then we're going to do the double crochet twice. And then I'm going to do the treble crochet twice. And then again, I'm going to do a double crochet twice. And then the half double crochet twice. And then as before, it's going to be in that next chain, I'm going to have a single crochet, and then in the chain after that, another single crochet. And then in that single crochet that started off this 4th petal, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to single crochet right there into the side of that. And then again, I'm going to do 2 single crochets side by side on the base of the cone. And then I'll start my last petal. So that last petal is going to, again, as I'm sure you guessed, 13, 1, 2, 11, 12, and 13. And then as before, single crochet in the second chain from the hook and single crochet again. and then half double crochet twice, and then double crochet twice, and then treble crochet twice, and then again double crochet twice, and then half double crochet twice. That brings us back down to this first single crochet, and of course, as just as before, I'm going to go ahead and do a single crochet right there into the side of that stitch. And then I'm going to go ahead and I am going to single crochet right here, kind of like this is the base. I'm going to come right here to the other side of that very first popcorn that we made in the cone. And this is where I'm going to tie off my purple yarn, but then I'm going to pick it up, so not going to get too far just yet. So far my piece looks like this. So the next thing I want to do is I want to go and I want to pick up my yarn. I'm using the same color. You can always change colors if you wanted to give it each petal a little bit of an outline in a contrasting or darker or lighter color, depending on the look and vibe you're looking to achieve with your flower. And now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to tie this in, come back here to the other side where you started your petal to begin with, and we're going to start there again. And this time I'm going to basically single crochet each stitch all the way down. And then when I get to the end, I want to put, approximately 3 stitches into the end of this, just to help me get around the corner before I start making my way back up the petal using single crochets again. Now, as we make our way back up here to the inner corner where our petal meets the cone of our flower and single crochet, I like to come up here and make a single crochet right into the stitch that holds this petal onto the base of the cone. And then I'll turn my work back around, and then I'll start making my way back down the new side of my petal, my next petal. So you can kind of see how that causes this to sort of pooch up a little bit. That's good, because once you've blocked your work, it's either going to allow your petals to lie nicely over one another, as you can see in this piece. You see how they kind of lie over each other, and it just basically gives it nice dimension. It gives it nice visual texture. It allows the petals to lay over one another quite nicely after you've blocked it. So then again, I'm going to continue. And this is what I'm going to do with each of the petals. And then when I get back over here to my last petal, I'm going to finish off, leaving myself a nice long tail for sewing this applique onto whatever project I plan on using this for. So as you can see here, this is what the finished applique looks like using this medium weight yarn, just in subtle colors. Now with this child sweater, had I decided to go smaller, it would have looked just as good if I'd used these little lace pieces in the cotton and smattered them around the sweater. But for the look I wanted, I used the heavier weight yarn. Same pattern, exactly the same pattern. Here I just added a couple of more petals. Basically the same approach that I had explained to you in the tutorial on how to make the 5 petals. You can easily add a petal or two depending on your needs and how you want to mix it up. But now it's time for me to say goodbye, so until I see all you wonderful and creative fiber artists again, stay crafty, stay amazing, and above all, keep weaving your weird. Bye-bye now.